Hi, I'm Justin Crosby and welcome to this week's TellyCast. On the show this week, I'm joined by comedy creator and social media star Hayley Morris. Known for her hugely popular sketches and original vertical comedies, Hayley's built a loyal following of over 9 million followers across social platforms, with a brilliantly relatable humour and distinctive storytelling style. In this episode, we're going to dive into her creative process, how she's made vertical video work for comedy, and what it really takes to succeed in the fast-moving world of social video. Hi, Hayley. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Not at all. I've been dying to get you on the show. I love everything you do on socials. 9 million followers. That's amazing.
It doesn't feel like it's 9 million people, but it's, when you see those numbers, you kind of disassociate from it and you're like, it's just a number. It's just a number. And you kind of think, I think you have to kind of go that route. Otherwise you start thinking about 9 million people that you're putting stuff out to. And
population
you're like,
of London kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Wow. Let's start at the beginning. How did you get into, how did you build this success of within comedy and social video? Tell us your story.
I've been doing, very, very early on when I was younger, my dad used to make, he used to write sketches that weren't for anywhere. They were just, for him to just write. And then my brother and I would act them out. He would film them. They exist somewhere. I don't know where. But we used to just do these sketches. So I kind of grew up making videos. And then one of my presents, I can't remember how old I would have been, but it was a camera that had video function on it. So I used to get my friends together and we'd film silent films because there was no microphone. And then I would upload them onto YouTube when YouTube wasn't seen as like a social platform.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a storage website. So I used to just put these videos on there. They'd have all sorts of classical music in the background. So when YouTube introduced copyright, they all wiped, the channel got deleted, because I think that's kind of how they just dealt with it back then, was just delete everything.
Yeah.
So those no longer exist. I have no idea how I would ever get those back, but it was kind of ingrained into me from an early age that I just enjoyed doing that. And then when I was at university, I was studying broadcast journalism, and our lecturer kind of opened one of the lectures with, you all need to get comfortable on camera because, first year is radio, second year is TV, and third year is whatever you want it to be. But mostly it's going to be sort of documentary or, whatever format you want to do. So I was like, okay, let's just start doing stuff on YouTube. And at the time, that would have been maybe 2011. And I'd already had stuff on there that I'd kind of just, I don't know, I think there's an old video of me writing my name on a £10 note and then just hoping it would go out somewhere and someone would eventually find me somehow. And I think like years later someone did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but obviously those £10 notes are dead now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of started doing that. And then I remember the rugby team at my uni found it and I was like, delete it all. So I deleted everything and was humiliated. No one was mean about it, but I just was so mortified because no one was doing that at the time. And they were just little sketches and silly little videos that genuinely weren't funny.
Yeah.
And then after I graduated, I started doing sketches again and just kind of, I was doing that for years and years and years. I'd built about 10,000 followers. Wasn't hugely successful, wasn't really making any money of it. And then eventually TikTok and Reels and things came along, and I think one of my friends who works in TV, she was like, you should start posting on TikTok. Like that's where people are if you want to start doing comedy acting. I was like, okay, yeah, let's give it one last shot. I'd done it for 10 years on YouTube and nothing had happened, and I kind of felt a bit like I'd thrown away the opportunity of a career because I was so hell-bent on getting into comedy and acting, and that was the way I was going to do it. And then, I kind of said, if it doesn't happen by the end of 2021, that's it. I've got to give it up and really commit to a career now. And then December the 28th, 2020, I had been uploading through November and December loads of different sketches on TikTok and had some success of 100,000 views, which to me was mind-blowing. And then I started a Me versus Brain series, and it just one of these videos went so viral, and I kind of just started continuing to do that, and I was growing by about 10,000 a night. a night. It was, I kept thinking, this isn't real. I'm in a dream. I'm going to wake up. This isn't real. Or someone's buying me all these followers. And it was about 100,000 a month or more. And I hit 1 million on Instagram and TikTok really fast. And it was just the wildest experience. And to think that, months before I was like, if it doesn't happen, that's it. So that's kind of how it all came about.
So did you plan to be a journalist then when you actually went to uni? You told me you were studying broadcast journalism. So did you originally want to be a journalist, or when did that change to becoming a comedic actor and writer?
So I'd grown up wanting to act, but I was always no one really encouraged me or said it was really possible. So I had thought about going to acting school, and then I kind of felt like, school teachers, people around weren't really saying that it was something that I could probably do. So I was like, maybe I'm not good enough for this. And I thought maybe I'll do TV presenting. And I'd still considered going to acting school. And then everyone said, if you want to be a presenter, if you go to acting school, all the presenters are going to come out the same. And I was like, I don't know if that's a bad thing. But I was kind of told not to go that route. Ended up picking broadcast journalism, hated it.
Right.
I knew it wasn't for me. I hadn't really wanted to do journalism, but it was a really, really interesting course, and I did really enjoy doing the course. And I think the experience I got from that has helped me in my career now.
In terms of being in front of the camera.
Exactly, yeah. And just knowing how to navigate it, and knowing like how to edit, I learned at uni. Knowing how to use a camera, I'd learned at uni. These are things that otherwise I would not really have. I'd have had to teach myself, but I kind of had that experience from uni, which really, really helped. But yeah, I think there was my first 2 years of uni, I was really determined to get into that world, into presenting and into being a news journalist. And then I think I was like, I think it feels very depressing. And I was like, I just enjoy fun and humor. And so I just thought I'll just give comedy a go, but I never wanted to do stand-up. I just really enjoyed making the content online and creating stuff that way.
And have you ever done stand-up then, or is it purely you're comfortable with the camera and that's kind of it, right?
I have done a couple of stand-up things, or like an improv comedy night. There is nothing better than getting that laugh from the audience. Yeah. But I also think there is nothing scarier than the moments before and the moment you're there. Yeah. And I just don't think I have the nervous system for it. I think it is a real skill, and it's just, I think you either really want it or you don't. And I don't feel like I really want to do stand-up. So I think it's a space that I'm too scared to be in.
Well, talking about skill, I mean, a lot of your videos feature multiple characters. Yeah. And the V Hotel is one that I try to relate to, but I'm not sure if I really can. But it's probably taught me more about the female anatomy than anything else ever has. But you play up to maybe 6 or 7 different characters in that. Can you talk me through the process of how you script that, how you plan a show, and how often do you publish?
So it's once a week, every Friday. And
that's important, is it?
I think it's, at the beginning I kind of did every other day or every day. And then I kind of was like, I'm running out of ideas. Went down to 2 a week. And then I was like, every Friday just feels like that works. And I think people get used to it. Yeah. So I've kind of always just stuck with that since. And that's been years. And it's almost to the point, it's so routine for me. It's weird if I don't do it. But it starts with a top line idea. So it's, I always try to think, if it's the V Hotel, what is something that I feel embarrassed about or I don't know enough about, and how can I make that funny? Or how can I make that relatable? And then it will be kind of building that out. So I'll start with the bones of a script. And that is just literally the structure, what beats are going where. And then I'll just start building it out. And then it might be that I haven't introduced a character before, so I'll think about how can I dress them, because that for me is something I've always had so much fun doing. Yeah, is how can I make this look like one of these characters, but still make it look as silly as possible. And then, yeah, just after that, it's setting up the camera, working out who's standing where, and then I'll just start that one, and then the edit is probably the biggest part.
And is it just you?
It's just me.
It's just you,
Yeah.
and you've created 9 million followers just by you and the camera and understand. I mean, how long does an average video take to put together? You said I can imagine the edit is the biggest part of it, but tell me, how long that process takes.
It depends. It depends what kind of video it is. So sometimes I'll do like a throwaway video, I call it, because it takes an hour. And those videos are usually just me and one other character, or like even just me. And it is such a simple idea. It usually has like text on the screen. And it just, very, very quick edit, very quick film, very quick. Don't really ever script it. And then I've got the like the V Hotel, or I've also got a drawer series where it's like my underwear drawer or the bedside table. The bedside table and the drawers, they take so much longer. Yeah, they are so long. And that's usually because I do also have to have someone with the camera. So I'm directing someone to do like whip pans, because I can't do, I've really thought about how can I do this on my own?
Yeah.
And yeah, setting up those like talking head moments, the confessionals, like sort of videos, that just takes longer to script. And again, the edit is so much more in that, because I might have not even had an idea of what direction it's going in. I'll just have things that I think would be funny for like a sock to say, which sounds ridiculous. And then I'll just kind of patch it together when I'm in the edit.
Yeah.
Those videos can take like 3 days, whereas like the V Hotel can probably take from scripting to editing only about 2 days.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes it takes a whole week just to come up with the idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the script.
Do you ever find yourself thinking, because the other thing we hear about creator burnout, don't we? And it's like being that creative, pretty much non-stop. I mean, do you ever take a break? Do you ever say, right, summer, I'm not going to make any videos in August, for example? I mean, or is that, do you feel that you really need to make sure you're there every Friday?
Yeah, I feel the pressure of the algorithm.
Right.
Sadly, I don't think the algorithm, and I don't think social media is really set up for anyone to take a break. I would love to get to a point where I am batch filming, say like 4 videos, and it means I can take like the whole month of August off because I've got them all ready to go. Yeah. That's always the goal, but it always seems to be that there's another project that comes up that takes my time, so that I don't have time to kind of film all those back to back. I'd love to build a team. I think that's kind of the dream.
Okay.
So having more people to have ideas bounce back and forth. Yeah. Having people help me film. Having people, I don't think I could ever give up the edit. I think that's something that I do have a bit of like a control thing over. I know exactly how I want it to look. Yeah. And so I don't think I could hand that over to anyone. Yeah. But yeah.
It sounds very much like we had Max Fosh on the show a few weeks ago. Your experience is very similar to him. I don't know if you've ever spoken to him about it, but...
No, we've never spoken, but I did listen to his episode, and it's very inspiring.
Yeah, it really was, wasn't it? And he came through the hospital radio route, and it seemed to, the stuff that he did on the big market in Newcastle, so it just seemed to... Once he tried something and it really, really worked, and then that kind of changed his whole career in his own direction, and it seems like a similar sort of... impact on your career. So we're obviously talking about a vertical video, but recently you've been doing short films, and there's your most recent one is called Hangry. Mm-hmm. Tell us about Hangry.
So Hangry is a rom-com. So it's 2 zombies, and they are, we're in a post-apocalyptic world. They are very much in love, and they stumble into a home where they are trying to decide what they should have for dinner, which is, the age-old debate that you have with your partner, which, is basically a script that is just taken directly from me and my boyfriend's conversations. It's, trying to decide what you want for dinner, and it always ends up with, for me, being like, don't worry, I'm just not going to eat. But the twist is these are two zombies that are deciding which family member to eat of these humans that are, just right in front of them. And we get the two POVs. So you've got the zombies that are just having this really normal, grounded conversation. And then you have the POV of the family watching these two zombies that are like completely nonsensical, just
making
really
growling
scary.
noises,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. And we kind of thought it was, we took this idea of, couple disagreements and things like that, and then just thought, what is a world that makes that funny and makes it silly and takes it out of just being, just a conversation from a relationship.
Yeah.
And we just thought the zombies just really added that fun to it.
Yeah.
And we never see the zombie POV. We're always seeing it from the other side. So it just, for me, I was like, this feels really fun and silly.
Yeah.
And it was great to film.
And it's fantastic. And so tell me about the crew that you have on that, because obviously that's not something that you can film yourself.
No.
It's like a proper production.
Yeah.
Talk us through that.
So, I do. We've done 4. We've got one coming out in August, and we're working with Mind's Eye. So they kind of provide us with a director, a producer, and then, the whole crew that comes with that, people who do sound, you've got the DP. It's a huge crew. When you look at the credits, I'm always like, there are so
I've
many
noticed.
people.
Yeah.
It's so much fun having that many people involved because I have always done stuff on my own. It feels, the first time I stepped on set when it was Love and Loss, which is the funeral short film, it was like a real, two sides of it. First of all, I was like, I can't believe everyone's here for me. This feels really silly. And then the other side of it was, oh my God, this is an actual like set that I've got here. And this is all because of an idea that I've got. And everyone's here for this short film to help me bring it together. And there was a lot of people early on that were like, do you not get scared acting in front of that many people? And I'm like, well, no, because everyone's worrying about their own job. No one's absorbed in what you're doing. Everyone just wants the best outcome for it, which is one of the nicest feelings. And it's a very freeing feeling. It's all very, very surreal and very exciting. And it's just made me want so much more of that.
Right. Okay. Well, let's talk about that a little bit. So just practically, how's that? Have you invested in that?
Yes,
that's your investment?
Completely
You paid
self-funded.
for that? Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the end goal then? You say there's going to be 4 of these films in total. What's your ultimate objective?
So I've always wanted to. Well, I mean, I've been developing TV shows, but it's not quite the market at the moment. It feels like you just keep pitching, and it kind of feels like nothing's coming back, and people are quite scared to take risks. So for me, I would love to get to a point where I can make my own TV show on YouTube.
Yeah.
And kind of I feel like you've got so much more freedom with that. You get to make the decisions of what stays, what goes, whether it works because it works, or if it works because it has to, there's so many hoops you have to jump through, and so many people you have to say, yes, this is good for you and this is good for you. And having that taken away, it just means that you can do it exactly how you want it. And it also, you've got the audience there. You know what that audience likes. You know what they don't like. And so you can make it specifically for your own audience that you've built, which I think TV doesn't always have. They don't have that direct relationship with their audience where you can just message someone and be like, hey, as a, like hypothetical, what would you think about this? I feel like you have that connection to be able to make something that you hope people would really, really love and respond to.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at Hangry.
You hungry?
Yeah, I guess so.
What kind of thing do you fancy?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, well, we've got a few different options.
Yeah, I feel like there's just too much choice. What do you want?
I could go for a bit of woman. Okay, so we're not having woman. Well, how hungry are you?
Hungry, but I'm not like hungry.
Okay, great. Well, why don't you have the kid then?
No, we had a kid last week.
Well, that only leaves 2 other options, and you've already said that you don't want the woman, so...
Do you know what? I might just not eat. I'm not in the mood now.
You always do this.
Do what?
You say you don't want to eat, and then when I eat, you get all pissy with me because I ate without you.
No, I don't. When?
All the time. Do you remember the barista incident?
What barista?
The barista that we literally had last week, babe.
That wasn't a barista.
We were in a coffee shop. He was wearing an apron. Beans everywhere.
There's beans everywhere at the moment anyway. Also, like, do you know how many people wear aprons?
No. We were out. We saw the barista. I was like, do you want any of this barista? You said no. I had some. And then you were like, was it tasty? And I said, yes, it tasted coffee. You remembered it.
You're remembering that completely wrong.
So I really enjoyed Hangry, and Love and Loss as well was brilliant.
Thank you.
And just explain the premise of Love and Loss a little bit, because it's like I really didn't. It was it was actually the first
one,
video
yeah.
that I'd seen of yours, and just the way it started to develop was not what I was expecting. But yeah, tell us about the premise. Of that.
So it's my character at the funeral of her boyfriend's mum, and it's basically sort of based around that relationship where your partner might have a stronger relationship with their mother, in the sense that you feel like you're competing with the mother. And so it's very much that complex relationship with added kind of that intrusive thought element of saying the stuff that you shouldn't say out loud in the worst possible situation. So she has this big outburst at a funeral in front of everyone while the boyfriend is doing a eulogy for his mother. And, he's saying stuff about her, like, she was the funniest woman I've ever known. And she's like, what, are you joking? I'm sat right here. And it just blows up and up and up to the point of no return. And then there's a little twist at the end. But it was that was, it's, with these short films, it's always just how silly can we make it, and how outrageous of a situation can we play this?
Yeah. But it's all very relatable. That's the great thing about it. So let's take a look at Love and Loss.
I lost my mum so much. She was, without doubt, the greatest woman I've ever known. She was the most generous woman I've ever met. And the funniest. She was so funny. She was the first person I would call if ever anything went wrong. The only person I would want to speak to.
Right.
And she was an amazing cook.
She always knew
just how
Sorry,
much pasta
I'm just trying to remember who it was that was up at 6 a.m. making the mini quiches and sausage rolls for the wake. Was it Linda? Obviously not, no. It was me. But who's getting all the credit here?
I wouldn't die on that hill, babe. It's quite dry.
It's not dry, Suze. It's decadent. Where did you even get that from?
Right, everyone, please. They were on the dry side. You need to make sure you lower the oven temperature before baking.
That is great advice.
So, so talking about your series, your vertical, coming back to vertical series as well, are you planning on any new series? And any, because obviously like you said, that you've got the bedside drawer and the sock, the lost sock, and the relationship between all the clothes and things like that. Any new ideas that you're planning on?
I think it's just really expanding on the drawers, because I think it's, for me, it's obviously in reality style, and I'm having so much fun with trying this new format, and just creating these new characters and the dynamics, and being able to have them interact in a way that other characters maybe haven't interacted in my other series. So it's kind of going down that route, and then eventually I'm looking to have them start to cross over.
Okay.
And I'd love to actually be able to make longer versions of those for YouTube long form,
Right.
because they are so much longer. There's so much more that goes into them. I end up cutting down so much. They could be like 10-minute episodes.
Well, yeah. Well, so what's the average length then for a TikTok episode of yours?
So of that new series, about 2 minutes now.
Yeah.
But then all the other stuff has always been 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think you get to develop a character so much more in a longer time frame.
Yeah.
You don't always get that in the short form when it's 30 seconds. It's, someone might watch that video and never watch ones that come after it. So you don't have that episodic sort of feel of it. It just, you don't get to really give it everything you want to give. Whereas these longer ones, I am able to do that, and it feels a lot more fun, and it feels like people invest in it a bit more. And
Yeah.
they might not get as many views, but you feel like you've got more people investing in one of those characters and wanting to know where they go next, or
Yeah.
helping me decide where they go next, which is always
Yeah.
quite fun.
So ultimately, creating TV shows for YouTube, how might that work financially as well? Because obviously it's a big investment, but
Yeah.
equally you've got over 9 million followers, so you know you're an incredibly successful creator. You know, do you work with brands? Are you planning on working with brands? Because obviously that's probably one of the first places to go.
So I work with brands on Instagram and TikTok, not so much on YouTube. And I mean, if there's any brands listening, if you want to sponsor it, please get involved.
Right.
I think it's, for a brand, it feels like a risk, or it feels unknown. It's not something that a lot of creators are doing or have set up. But more than anything, it would be ad revenue that I would hope would come from YouTube, being able to kind of fund these projects.
Yeah.
That's kind of the goal.
And how do you view the overall social video environment? Because we've heard Netflix making noises about going much more into the creator space, and you can obviously see why. Do you in the ideal world, is that what you would be doing, is making shows for YouTube or making shows directly for Netflix that you retain creative control? Because presumably, from what I can gather from you, that's super important for you. It's that you have to be the creator, and you have to be completely in control of the script and direction, everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the dream. But there are TV shows that I've kind of got treatments for and decks for that I would kind of not feel like I have to have that creative control over. I have had, some production companies or people that they want to take the stuff that I've done on the Vertical series and wanting to take that into the TV world. But for me, it would be losing my IP or giving up something that I've worked really hard on. And I don't want to do that. It feels like my baby that I've kind of grown, and I want to hold that and keep it with me.
Yeah.
But I kind of understand that, because I think, they see what works online and they see the numbers and they think, okay, if that works there. But I don't necessarily think it always translates very well. I think sometimes the reason people like it on social is because it feels lo-fi. It feels like you've done it in your house and you're doing it alone. Whereas sometimes you can put a load of money into something and it becomes way too polished.
Yeah.
So those I feel precious about, but the decks and treatments that I have for TV ideas, otherwise I feel like I would be happy for a director to come in and help with that and bring it, whatever they see fit.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what the project is.
Yeah. I mean, are you open to appearing in other comedy shows? I mean, as just basically as your own, or playing a character, or as a comedy actor?
Yeah, definitely. That's a big thing I'm working on at the moment is auditioning, trying to get into the TV and film world.
Yeah.
I just really, really enjoy making videos. I enjoy acting. I always think it's funny because people have always asked, like, what's the secret? How did you get here? And I'm like, I really love it. And even if I wasn't making money, I would still be here doing it. It's something that is so part of me that I just couldn't imagine not doing it. I'm like, that for me, it's the joy of it is just being on sets and creating and writing and acting. So yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about creators, because there are so many creators coming through now. It's such a vibrant sector. What advice would you give creators that are coming through who are maybe planning on going down the similar path that you've gone down? Any advice you could give them?
I would say just go for it. I think you can really sit on an idea, and I think if you have an idea, just film it. If it doesn't go well, doesn't matter, keep trying. And if act on the ideas you have, basically. I think whenever something comes into your mind, just film it. Do not worry about anyone around you is saying. There were people that laughed at me, mocked me, said to my face, I can't believe you're still making these videos. And then, you know, when it all blew up, I was like, this is why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just acting on the ideas you have and not being afraid to put yourself out there, because I think putting yourself out there, you get such a reward from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't be afraid to do it. And it really doesn't matter what anyone is saying about you. Just do it because you enjoy it.
Banish that imposter
Exactly,
syndrome. Right?
exactly.
Yeah. And now it's time for Story of the Week, where my guests get to highlight the content industry news story that's caught their eye in the past 7 days. Hayley, what's your story of the week?
I think it's that YouTube is starting very slowly to roll out their episodic feature. So I think soon, I don't know if the US have it, but the UK are going to start having it,
Yeah.
where you can do episodic content. So it's like series 1, episode 2. So it will look like Netflix,
Yeah.
which is really cool. Like, I find that so exciting.
That's a
especially with
big
the short
battle
films.
coming up, right? Netflix and YouTube. I
Yeah.
think it's already starting.
Who's going?
Yeah. No, there's so much happening on YouTube at the moment. Obviously, we've seen it's now become recognised as the biggest channel on TV around
Yeah.
the world, or certainly in the States, and certainly in the UK as well. Much bigger than Netflix in its own right. I mean. And they're starting to roll out automatic dubbing as well.
Yeah.
That's starting to
I
happen.
think I've just had a trial of that feature come up on mine,
Right.
which is cool.
Yeah. I mean, that must, you know, the potential for that. I mean, all
Yeah.
of those markets outside English-speaking markets. I mean, actually, that's interesting. Your followers, are they generally UK-based, or is it
No,
US your
it's-
biggest audience?
US is biggest, then it's UK, and then depending on the platform, Germany is quite high on, I think, Instagram and TikTok. India's very high on YouTube. I think, who else have I got? Turkey on
Right.
Instagram. So yeah, I think it's kind of that kind of 5% here, 10% here
Yeah.
of you know, countries that English isn't their first language. So
Yeah.
it's really exciting
Yeah,
to think
yeah.
that they can have that dubbed in their own language. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's
really cool.
Who knows
I
where that'll
know.
take you, right? when that happens. So about Hero of the Week. Have you got Hero of the Week you could share with us?
Hero of the week. So this is a creator or anyone?
Could be anybody who's done something amazing that's worthy of a shout out.
I think probably Cassie Wilson. She is a TikToker, and she is just one of the most authentic, real people I've ever come across on TikTok, and she really stands up for people's rights. And I just find her one of the most inspiring people. Yeah, I think,
All right.
Cassie Wilson, she's brilliant.
Cassie
really recommend
Wilson.
her, yeah.
All right, fantastic. And then who or what you're telling to get in the bin?
Comments on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really, you open a video of a dog and everyone is just angry.
Yeah.
It's just a dog.
Yeah. And now it's like, is it AI?
Yeah.
Is it not AI, right?
It's a really weird experience out there right now. But yeah, I think comments get in the bin, unless
Yeah.
they're nice. We
All
want
right.
support only.
Okay. Negative comments.
Yeah,
they can all
get in the bin.
Fantastic. Hayley, thank you so much for coming on TellyCast. It's been
you.
brilliant to meet you, and
too.
best of luck with everything. And I'm sure we're going to be seeing you, not only more of you on social channels, but also on TV as well, very soon. So all the best with everything.
Thank you so much.
Well, that's about it for this week's show. TellyCast was produced by Spirit Studios and recorded in London. We'll be back with another show next week. Until then, stay safe.